Something I'd never seen.
Well, one reason is because they have those 8 newcomers and they're trying to get them indoctrinated to even coming into this type of environment and what it takes to get ready to play in a game of this magnitude.
A foul on Mio Knight going to the basket. Now, the big story of this evening is the fact that Alabama is missing 2 standouts, Nene Bolton and Jordan Lewis. Neither one will play tonight. That's the starting 5 that you're looking at. But again, Nene and Jordan both with ankle injuries that are going to keep them out, not just for tonight, but potentially for a good while longer. There you see them sitting on the bench looking on, and boy, they'd love to be out there.
Yeah, and Eli, you're talking about the SEC Newcomer of the Year and the person who led the Alabama team last year in 3-point field goals percentage-wise.
Turnover, Ashley Williams makes it go, and the Crimson Tide jumping out quickly. Now, last year, Alabama with this kind of defense right here. Another turnover. Hannah Cook into Ashley Williams, and another foul inside Nigeria Jones, getting a piece of Ashley Williams. It was that kind of defense a year ago when these two teams met that allowed Alabama to just win in a major going-away basis.
They really did. As you see right there, they extend their defense, what they call their diamond series, where they extend it all the way up, putting pressure on the inbound pass, trapping the inbound pass when it gets inbounds, and then anticipating the next pass, getting the steal, and an layup opportunity for Ashley Williams. And let me say this, Mio Knight got fouled, missed that 1 free throw. That's a big point of emphasis for this Alabama team this year. If they're going to get to another level, they've got to improve their free throw shooting, and we will talk more about that a little bit later.
Go Alabama with the pair as Lauren McKee checked in, replacing Nigeria Jones, and Bama again with the basketball on the turnover, the 3rd against Alabama A&M University. Last year, Bama won 97-29 with defense and plays like that, but that's an extra couple of steps on the part of Ashley Knight and a turnover against the Crimson Tide.
Well, that's what they're trying to do, is create turnovers as part of their plan to impose their will with their depth. They've got so many people that have contributed at a high level on this basketball team. Not only last year, but even this year in the exhibition games, playing a lot of people.
Another turnover. They had 13 on average, Alabama A&M did, in their 2 preseason wins over Oakwood University and the University of West Alabama, as that one goes out of bounds, and a turnover, the 2nd on the Crimson Tide. Alabama has played 1 preseason game against the Pioneers of Antelope Valley, as a traveling call is the 5th turnover on the Lady Bulldogs. Bama beat Antelope Valley.
We'll shoot it in transition. She's just a great, great shooter, and Alabama's very fortunate to have her.
The other night had 10 points and 4 rebounds in the preseason game against the Pioneers of Antelope Valley, and a reach-in foul by Tiara Dark, the freshman guard from Sylacauga, Alabama. I might as well not even bother saying freshman, because Bonner is a freshman, Collins is a freshman, Jones is a freshman, Harris is a freshman, Johnson is a freshman. You get the idea. Harper is a freshman, Dark is a freshman, and the list goes on and on. A very, very young team as Shaq Wade finds Ashley Williams. Mio Knight's alone. She says, why not? Battle for the bound, and the arrow is in Alabama A&M's favor as they try to get across midcourt for the first time tonight, Rick.
And Alabama just imposing their will on this Alabama A&M team, trying to take them out of the game early.
Down low, Kanisha Tharp is number 35. There's the first time into the forecourt. Turnaround off the glass won't go, and the rebound for Ashley Knight on that miss by Alicia Davis. Here's Mio Knight, coast to coast for 2.
And that is her game. She is an athletic point guard. Tonight, at least, she's point guard for Alabama, taking the place of the point guard that obviously is not getting to play, the freshman of the newcomer of the year last year, as a matter of fact, Jordan Lewis. And so she's playing the point, and but she's tremendous at getting the ball to the rim.
Nigeria Jones checks back into the lineup, replaces Tierra Dark. Jones has one foul, played briefly before. There the inbound steal. Alabama's got it. Knight to Cook, in close for two.
Very nice pass right there by Mio Knight, running the loose ball down. A little one-hand touch pass to a streaking Hannah Cook for a layup.
Another steal to Hannah, alone on the wing. No good. Shaq Wade flies in for the rebound and is fouled. That steal was a beauty, I'm telling you.
Well, actually, it's just an errant pass, but still, there you see Mio Knight. There was the play right there. The little one-hand, right hand, didn't even touch it with both hands, just quick flick with our right hand for a wide open Hannah Cook.
And it looks like Alabama's going to be doing a wholesale change as timeout is being...
Right now, to be honest with you, she's just trying to get them to relax, because I saw them in shoot around this morning. Believe me, they're a very athletic team that has a chance to compete.
Here's Ashley Williams to the window, and she is fouled. Came down a little awkwardly. The foul is going to be on Alicia Davis. It'll be her first. Last year, Davis, she is one of the sophomores on the team, their most experienced returner.
Exactly.
As a sophomore, averaged 4.3 and 3.7 rebounds a game a season ago.
Well, this is the worst possible scenario for Alabama A&M, coming out here in a game like this where nerves are already on edge and you fall behind 9-0, and it could be worse if Alabama made a couple of free throws.
There will be substitutions. Coco Knight and Alana da Silva will be coming in for Alabama as Ashley Williams makes the free throw. Alana da Silva, number 5, vastly improved from a year ago.
Well, Coach Bryan always said you got to have a plan, but you got to have a plan if the plan fails. Yeah, Jordan Lewis is the point guard. She's an all-SEC point guard, but she's not available. So therefore, you swing Mio Knight into that position. But this young lady coming in right there, Alana da Silva, she is going to really be an asset for this team.
Long-range try is short by Deshauna Harper. Rebound to Hannah Cook, and she is fouled on the block by Deshauna Harper, the freshman from Indianapolis, Indiana. A small guard who will contest your shots, but did so a little too vehemently that time.
Well, this Alabama A&M team, you saw them in practice prior to the game. I saw them in shoot-around today. You're talking about practicing a very physical defensive style of play where they are always on the attack. They may have to just back off a little bit, because right now I think they're just a little bit too enthusiastic and excited about being in the game.
McKee, Johnson, and Harper check in now for, or excuse me, Dark checks in for Alabama A&M as Hannah Cook converts and gives Alabama the 10-point lead. First quarter here in Tuscaloosa, opening night. Dark is covered up, and there's a souvenir for the man in row 1, seat 1 and 2.
Actually, that was the correct pass to make, just not executed properly, and it's a little airmail, but still, you have to be able to make that pass against the aggressive defense that Alabama's playing.
Alana da Silva, backup point guard. She's from Brazil. Blocked that time by 35, Kenesha Tharp. Inside bounce to Tharp, lost it on the floor, and da Silva comes out with the basketball. Turnover 9 on the Lady Bulldogs. Shaq Wade. Follow-up, Knight can't make it go. Alabama leading 11-0, but the shooting is not spectacular. 3 of 8 from the floor right now. Imagine if Bama had been able to convert some shots.
Especially considering where the shots are being taken from. A couple of little, what we call bunnies in there around the basket that Alabama's just not been able to finish at this point.
Personal foul on Shaq Wade. It'll be her first. Early stages, opening night here in Tuscaloosa. Davis had a shot, chose not to take it, and then Dark had no shot, and she took it.
May have been a little hack on that one that the official just didn't see, because I saw her in practice. She's a great shooter. I don't think she would miss one that bad, but good defense nevertheless with a nice contest right there.
Da Silva and Cook. Deja Ruffin, the transfer from Tennessee Martin, missing. And Alicia Davis clears the glass, leaves it from McKee. Dark. And there's a block again. And Ruffin comes away for Hannah Cook. She's got Knight on her left, but Hannah goes coast to coast. No. And Cook on the rebound, lost it out of bounds. It'll be a turnover to the Lady Bulldogs.
Well, you see right there, Ashley Knight, is she going to be a force on this basketball team this year? She was last year, as you can see Hannah Cook attacking the basket, and then Coco Knight running through the play and getting the rebound. But Ashley Knight, with her length and her ability to anticipate shots, oh, tremendous shot blocker.
23 is Harper. Down low, backdoor cut. Brianna Bonner couldn't make it go, and the whistle.
You know, with Ashley Knight, number 25 in the game, Eli, Alabama can play much more aggressive, even in the half court, and take a chance on jumping into a passing lane, knowing that they've got a backstop behind them.
Mio Knight's personal, her first. And Johnson missing. There's the block by Ashley Knight.
As you can see, she came all the way across the lane to get in position to block that shot.
Johnson now 0 for 4 from the free throw line between their preseason games and this game tonight, but the lane violation. And Alexandra will get another try, a freshman from Pinson, Alabama. And her first free throw made this season. Here's Alana da Silva with Alabama up comfortably. The feed inside, saved, but recovered by Johnson nicely as Bama tried to bounce it off of her out of bounds. And there was a spinning move on the whistle as Lauren McKee lost the dribble and the basketball. Watch number 10.
Just a little bit out of control, but still, you got to be aggressive. This young team is trying to attack and create offense for their teammates. You're going to make a couple of mistakes early in the year and early in this game.
And the whistle in front of the Lady Bulldog bench. Turnover against Alabama.
I believe it was a three-second call.
Yep, 3-second call inside. Fourth turnover against the Tide. That's Bonner missing on the feed down low, recovered by Alabama. Turnover 11 on the Lady Bulldogs. Hannah Cook bumped as she goes, and the whistle on Lauren McKee. McKee's personal foul. It'll be her first to go with 5 turnovers in 5 minutes of play.
And Alabama, you look at their scouting report, if you had an opportunity to see it, I guarantee you it says attack. When the ball is turned over, when we get a rebound, or when Alabama gets even on a made basket, get the ball in, push it, and force your will, force your game on this young Alabama A&M basketball team.
Ashley Knight sits. Aria Copeland, the freshman from Columbus, Georgia, checks in as the Crimson Tide's lead is now 12-1. And Hannah Cook gets a breather.
So as we speak, Eli, Alabama has 3 subs in, but they're still long and athletic and skilled.
A 1-2-2 zone look for the Crimson Tide, forcing A&M to try and shoot over it. Mio Knight. Good hands by Copeland to find the handle. Coco Knight bumped by number 10, Lauren McKee. So for McKee, it'll be her second personal foul. Been a tough night for McKee so far.
Well, Eli, let me just say this. The most difficult thing that you can teach a college basketball player is how to defend the basketball, how to defend the bounce. When somebody has the ball and they're going to take you off the bounce, how to get the ball stopped without one or two things. Either somebody comes and helps, which allows somebody else to be open, obviously, or you got to be quick enough to get your head between the ball and the basket and get the ball stopped yourself. And that's why we're seeing all these fouls in the half court. Alabama cannot guard the ball without getting a foul called on them.
Alabama now 50% from the charity stripe, just 6 of 12 as Jamaica Cobb checks back in after playing 2 uneventful minutes. She was shown the bench, but she's back number 4 in maroon. But here comes Alabama's Mio Knight. Drives on Cobb and is given a traveling call. The turnover against the Crimson Tide, their 6th of the evening.
Maybe a little bit impatient right there because you had to attack 3 players instead of 1 or 2.
Harper to the window, no good. Rebound Bonner. All alone, Collins. Rebound can't be played. It was out of bounds, and the turnover, the 12th of this first few minutes on Alabama A&M. The Bulldogs last year had a tough year. 2 up and 25 down. That was the record. They were 0-18 in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. But with a revamped roster this year, they're hopeful of building up as a better ball club, as the shooting for Alabama now has gone cold. Here's Cobb. Harper. Cobb, not much of a three-point shooter. That's why Bama plays soft outside, but the running layup won't go. And here comes Bama 2-on-1. They've got the numbers to Silva on the bounce pass, and Ashley Williams for 2.
Well, nice pass by Alana da Silva right there. But let me tell you something. Ashley Williams looks like the Ashley Williams of old. You know, she missed a year, and she came back and physically never really got in the kind of shape that she's in right now, streaking up the floor for that layup.
Lost a footing, ball goes inside, and Johnson lays it in for 2. First field goal of the ball game for Alabama A&M comes, as you see, with 1:47 remaining in the quarter.
What's the old saying, Eli? Sometimes I'd rather be lucky than good, right?
Mm-hmm. Nice move inside, and the layup for 2. One ball movement to Copeland, who finished it off beautifully.
Well, Coco Knight looks like a different player this year. We saw her in the first game. She had 15 points in Alabama's first exhibition game against the Antelopes. The Pioneers from Antelope Valley. And but anyway, yeah, she's
watch this play again. Bounce and Copeland.
As I said, the most difficult thing to teach young players is how to defend the ball one-on-one. She drives, she draws the other defender because she beat her defender, and then an easy dish for a layup.
Tierra Dark, number 24. Da Silva defended her well, and Shaq Wade has the rebound. Quick transition, Da Silva for 2.
And 2. There's another player, junior college transfer to Alabama from Florida. And guess what? She looks like a totally different player. 1 year for a transfer like that in a system, and they come back the next year and look totally different.
Alabama by 15, as you see. Taylor Berry in the lineup for the Tide now. Excuse me. That's Ashley Knight for the Tide. Got my rosters flip-flop there. Ashley, number 20. Oh, excuse me, that was right the first time. Taylor Berry in for Bama.
And Eli, we have talked about Taylor Berry, how proud everyone was for her getting a scholarship.
Yep, former walk-on.
Former walk-on, the very first day of practice, and how her teammates applauded her and loved on her for the work that she's done for her Alabama team.
Another turnover. Outlet, Ashley Williams for 2.
Again, we see right there Ashley Williams running the floor. Nice little loop pass right there by Alana da Silva. But notice how when Ashley Williams caught the ball, the bounce right off the floor for the finish.
The backdoor cut doesn't go, and look out on the upper deck. As that
a direct number here about how many? Yes, I do. Alabama 10-1 in points off of turnovers. 10 of the 20 direct result of an Alabama A&M turnover.
So the Crimson Tide now beginning the second quarter, leading 20-3. By the way, a lot of women's basketball in action tonight. Everybody around the conference, or most everybody, getting into action as Alana da Silva cashes in from long range. We'll keep you updated on what's going on around the SEC as our evening continues. Baseline try, good for Deshauna Harper. And now traveling for Alabama. Turnover number 7 on the Crimson Tide. Da Silva took steps, bringing up the floor. Now Copeland takes a seat. Ashley Knight will check back into the lineup. So she and Ashley Williams are in. Taylor Berry, Da Silva, and Shaq Wade, the 5 on the floor for the Crimson Tide.
Nice job right there. Looked like they've calmed down a little bit. Seeing open receivers, crisp passes.
That one is bounced out of bounds, however, en route to Brianna Bonner. And the turnover will be the 13th of the ball game for Alabama A&M University. They're a member of the SWAC, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. That's Alcorn State, Alabama State, Mississippi Valley State, and Jackson State. As Bama goes inside to Ashley Knight for 2. Grambling is in the SWAC with Southern and Prairie View, Texas Southern, and Arkansas Pine Bluff, as Alabama's Taylor Berry dives for the loose ball. And the jump has a whistle called. And the foul on Alabama A&M. It'll be Deshauna Harper picking up her second personal foul. There again you see the SWAC members and where Alabama A&M slots in.
And you know what? I watched them in practice today. I honestly, sincerely believe that before the year's over, they're going to make somebody a liar right there, because I think they're going to have a much better season.
Basketball taken away by the Lady Bulldogs. Davis. Now here's Cobb. Jamaica Cobb out of the right side feed. The shot, however, won't go down for Deshauna Harper. Talk about this being a physical ball game and a physical sport. Watch this shot. Boom, have a seat.
Technical foul, an unsportsmanlike foul. And we will try our best to be able to clarify it. But with Hannah Cook shooting 2 free throws, and then Alabama gets the ball back at half court, that is correct. So it's the same thing as a technical foul, but it doesn't count against the player as a technical foul. Now, what's the difference? I can't explain it, but they have redefined those particular fouls.
Here's Ruffin out to Da Silva. Good ball movement to Shaq Wade, who sees an alley and leaves it off inside for Ashley Knight.
Well, again, we've talked about Ashley Wade for 2 years now. Probably the most complete player on the Alabama team, because there's nothing not anything that she's not really pretty good at.
Long range try doesn't go. Hannah Cook comes out with the rebound off the miss by Harper. Here's Ruffin. First regular season game for the Tide as Hannah Cook doesn't find the range. Now Harper slows things down wisely. They've been rushing the offense. Alone that time, but the shot won't go for Kenesha Tharp. See the time remaining, first half, as that one is thrown away by Alabama, and the turnover, the 8th of the night for the Crimson Tide. So Alana da Silva will take a seat. Harriet Copeland will be coming in.
Eli, on that last possession when Kenesha Tharp took that shot from the free throw line, Ashley Knight was not blocking the shot, but you can rest assured that because of the shots that she has blocked, that she was thinking about it, I guarantee you.
Blocking foul on Hannah Cook, as she was a little tight on the D right there. It'll be her first personal foul. Shaq Wade on the fall away as she gets fouled by Kenesha Tharp for her first.
Eli, I remember watching this Alabama A&M team play last year, and I remember watching them in shoot around last year, and I remember seeing them in shoot around today. They are a different basketball team, and their coach has a reason to be excited about her team. They do things that they could not do last year. They're not able to make it successful against this Alabama team because Alabama is a pretty good defensive team against everybody that they play against.
Crimson Tide up by 25 now. .44 is Ashlyn Dotson checking into the ball game. And there the baseline pass by McKee is tipped away, and Alabama comes back with Ruffin at the keyboards. Deja Ruffin controls the offense here. She sees an opening for two.
Well, she's another player that Alabama brought in, and she sat out last year. She's from the University of Tennessee at Martin, a transfer. She came in and had 22 points, I believe, when Tennessee Martin came in and played against Alabama.
And 11 rebounds.
Yeah, and 11 rebounds.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she's very capable of at least helping this team get to one more little small level.
Watch that move by Ruffin. The steal on the other end of the floor.
And then here she comes bringing the ball up the court. Coach calls a high ball screen for her. She rejects the screen. What does that mean? You say she rejects the screen. The ball screen is set on one side. Instead of using the screen, the player cheats, so you reject it, take it to the hole, easy layup.
Rebound pulled down by Ashlyn Dotson off the miss by Hannah Cook. 6 minutes to go in the half. Yes, that scoreboard is correct, 34-5. And it stays that way as the miss on the running layup. Rebound to Copeland, who keys it out. Ruffin. Mio Knight found herself in no man's land, dives for the ball, out to Cook, gets the bounce for three.
Great shooters get those kind of bounces, Eli.
They do.
It's called touch. Yeah. No, she gets those bounces because she does shoot it straight at the basket, and if you miss small, it's still got a chance to go in.
Ruffin. They're going to call her on the offensive foul. They're going to call Deja Ruffin on the offensive foul. Her first.
Speaking of Deja Ruffin, she had knee surgery to try to get,
she showed up with an ACL.
Yeah, she showed up with an ACL, and so she really missed an entire year. And according to the coaches, she's not quite where she is going to be physically. And so at some point this year, I expect she might get herself in total condition.
McKee cross-court pass. Trey won't go for Collins. And again, Ruffin. Mio Knight leaves for Ruffin. And there's going to be a foul on Alabama's Ruffin. It'll be her second. Bama up comfortably, 37-5. Seconds drawn on this box score right now.
As do I, Eli.
Look
You're
at the
talking
numbers.
about points in the paint, 20-2. Points off turnover, 16-1, and fast break points, 12-0. That's a lot of scoring by Alabama, and not anything. On paper, it's a mismatch, and right now, so far, it's been that way.
Here now, Alabama's Mio Knight. Lost the dribble out of bounds. By the way, if you're an Alabama follower, the men's basketball team playing in Annapolis, Maryland tonight, and they beat Memphis 82-70 as a backcourt violation is called on Alabama A&M here at the center stripe. So the men win by a dozen in the season opener at the Naval Academy.
And that made turnover number 18 for Alabama A&M.
Yes, it did, to just 8 at last check, now 9 for the Crimson Tide. Barry inside to Ashley Knight. Nice move inside, but no chance for the reverse layup for Coco Knight. You know, we've barely mentioned Cobb's name tonight. Dodson there in close. The big lady doing a fine job there. A very physical post player who finishes well. Ashlyn Dodson from St. Joseph's, Missouri.
A very skilled post player, as a matter of fact.
And there's traveling on the Crimson Tide, turnover number 10. But yeah, we've barely mentioned number 4 there on the front of your screen. That's Jamaica Cobb, the SWAC Freshman of the Year last year. No doubt the best player for the Lady Bulldogs. We've barely mentioned her name tonight.
No doubt noted on the Alabama scouting report as well that number 4 had to be contested on every shot. As a matter of fact, at this point in time, she has only
0 for 3.
Attempted 3 field goals.
Yeah. 0 for 3 from the floor, 1 rebound, 1 foul, and 1 turnover at this very moment in 9 minutes of play. Rejected by Alabama. Dodson, shot clock at 2. It's going to be a shot clock violation. And turnover number 19 on Alabama A&M. Good defense by the Tide.
Of course, that play was made by Ashley Knight again, and I've been watching her. I've isolated on her on a couple of possessions, Eli. The way she's moving, getting to rebounds that I've never seen her get to, her transition from the offensive end to the defensive end is much better. And, of course, if you bring it in there, she is going to challenge you.
And Shaq Wade with a major league move right there. Dotson to the deep corner. Jones, Nigeria Jones.
Well, that's a nice play by Nigeria Jones, but what about the pass?
The pass by Dotson.
Yeah, I said she's a skilled post player. Nice hands, good passer, and has range with her shot.
Working our way, as you see, towards 2 minutes in the half. Nice block on Ashley Knight as the big lady was going to the rim. Now here's Cobb. Checks the bench. Coach Margaret Richards yelling in the plays. Here's Cobb on Wade, blocked by Ashley Knight. So what else is new? Ashley Knight, 90 blocks coming into the season. Then the turnover on Alabama.
See, Alabama actually could not guard her on the off the bounce one-on-one, but when you get by one of Alabama's players, guess who's standing in weight down there? 6'5" with about, it looks to me like a 7-foot wingspan. It's very, very tough.
You see, back in the lineup is Ashley Williams. She took that shot to the face earlier by Aubriana Bonner that yielded that unsportsmanlike foul. Here now, Bonner dribbles it off her foot, but recovers it. And then goes for the basketball, but her right foot is out of bounds. So turnover number 20 by Alabama A&M. Coach Richards has a tough job.
She really does, but
a lot of new players, you start over.
Absolutely. You got, like we said, 12 new players. That'll make any coach have nightmares.
Hannah Cook doesn't get the 3 to go. Final minute of the half. Last year at halftime, Alabama led 55-9. You see the score here as they give it and drop it out on the perimeter. And then a timeout taken by Christy Curry. Timeout, Alabama. So Christy Curry calls time on the SEC network and the ESPN family of networks. Bama does have to shoot. They do. Rebound, though, for the Tide again, Copeland. You see the time remaining. Shot clock is dark. Ruffin pulls up, pops, no good. Rebound, put up, no. Ashley Williams prior to the horn, no. Ruffin, no. And that is going to do it. Well, Alabama got 5 for a quarter right there, but they just couldn't buy one.
Well, that's great effort right there.
Check them all out on what will be a busy, busy college football weekend number 11.
And Eli, I believe that Coach Curry, as you said, the end of the first half got a little, they need to clean it up and get back to doing what they do, and went on a streak there where they were 1 of 10 for the last from the field in their last field goal attempts.
Yeah, neither team has played well in the final 2.5 minutes of the half. There's a turnover. Cook. Nobody's going to come out, so why not? And Mio Knight makes the 3 count right there. A nice 3-ball. She was waiting for somebody to come out and pick her up on the cover.
Yeah, and she's improved a 3-point shot, so I think she has the green light.
And there's a mishandle by Jamaica Cobb. And another turnover. Watch that steal and the shot.
Well, there's the deflection, the steal by Ashley. She catches it.
And then nobody comes out.
You got to take that, especially if you're a shooter, and she's shooting the 3-point shot very well in practice.
Hannah Cook. Tight defense by Nigeria Jones with 2 personal fouls. Nice feed inside and a foul as Ashley Knight was going to the basket, and that's going to be personal foul on Alexandra Johnson, her first. And Ashley Knight, a 52% free throw shooter last year.
And one thing that really helps her on the offensive end of the court is her ability to catch it high, keep it high, and get it up on the glass.
And we figured that she would play 18 to 25 minutes per game this year. She played 15 in the first half out of the 20. And she scores the pair right there. Cobb. They double teamed her with Cook and Wade. Bama playing the angles well. They took away that running lane from Nigeria Jones.
They really are. They're just really moving their feet extremely well on the defensive end.
And off Dotson's miss, there's a blocking foul inside on Dotson. It'll be her first for the big center from St. Joseph's, Missouri. Second team foul of this quarter. .18 on the shot clock, still no rush. Hannah Cook, the floater, and again, that shooter's touch.
I'm not going to say it this time. Y'all draw your own conclusions.
Here's Lauren McKee on the bounce to Cobb. Now McKee again. Dotson plays way high, number 44. 7 on the clock. Cobb's floater too strong. And Shaq Wade's going coast to coast. The miss, put back no. Ashley Williams out of bounds. It'll be Alabama ball as substitutions take place. Taylor Berry. We kind of expected she'd play a good bit here this evening. And indeed she is.
There you see the dribble penetration to the basket right there, and then Alabama just attacks the boards.
The foul on the inbounds by Aubrianna Bonner is going to be her second. Team foul number 3. As now a whistle away from the ball again. It's going to be Jamaica Cobb. Team foul number 4. Now is the point of just standing around and they're committing fouls. Shaq Wade. Berry. They love going to that baseline drive. Just can't get the shot away, and it's knocked out of Ashley Williams' hands. It'll be Bama ball again.
Well, they do love the baseline drive, and they love the baseline drive because when they get down there, they've got all these different options, Alabama does, and they can throw it to the opposite corner, or they can have a post player knifing down the middle of the court.
Remember, they do not reset the shot clock. 7 on the shot clock. Shaq Wade knows it and takes it for 3.
Shaq Wade right there, we talked about her before being a complete player. There she pulls up and shoots the 3, but very, very patient.
They have somebody underneath. And the layup is good for 2. That's Alexandra Johnson. She and Bonner both were beneath the basket. First bucket of the second half for Alabama A&M, and now a foul and the offensive charge called on Ashley Williams. Shaq Wade had a nice basket moments ago. Watch this shot.
Yeah, there's a little skip shot. Like I said, not rushing it, very, very patient.
And then the follow-up underneath. See, they had 2 players there, and Johnson lays it in for 2. And now there's a whistle across the way. Been a physical game.
Well, both teams do play physical. They practice physical. And,
yeah.
You know, we were talking to a coach on the phone today, and she said, you know, it's hard to play physical anymore because the referees are instructed to call that type of play.
Speaking of other coaches and other games, Alabama is home to play the Utes of the University of Utah. You'll see it right here Monday evening beginning at 7. Alabama and the Utes from the Pac-12.
in what promises to be a really good game. The Pac-12 versus the SEC.
Has the Pac-12, is it fair to say that is now the premier women's hoops conference in America?
Well, you know, the numbers speak for themselves. 7 teams in the NCAA tournament last year, plus the highest RPI in America.
Yeah, the last 2 years, the best suspects.
Four of those teams in the Final Four last year: Connecticut, South Carolina, Stanford, and Mississippi State. Mississippi State beat Connecticut and played South Carolina in the finals, 2 Southeastern Conference teams.
Another turnover. That will be the 27th of the night for A&M, a 5-second violation. So now Alabama with a huge lead, as Hannah Cook lost it out of bounds, but it's off the hands of Nigeria Jones. So Bama will retain control. Bama playing with a ton of energy. Crimson Tide on top, 51-11. And let's face it, Rick Moody, you know, when you get up 51-11, it's tough sometimes, let alone for professionals, but for young collegians to keep that drive going. I mean, you're up by 40 points. You're not going to lose the ball game. It's tough to get the kids to keep their energy level up.
There's no doubt about it, but if anybody could do it, it would be one Christy Curry. She has her team right now, each member of the team, reading a book called The Energy Bus, the 10 rules that fuel your life, work, and team with positive energy. So she's going to do the best that she can, and I promise you, she's got the energy.
So she does. That's Christy right there. The thing, and I'll be very honest, obviously the next game I coach is going to be my first, but having talked to a lot of coaches in this role and others, a lot of them have cited that book. It's almost like the Bible of keeping your team motivated.
It really is, and it all starts with the head coach. You got to bring the energy every day, and you got to be the example. You're driving the bus, and therefore you got to come in there with a positive attitude, and it just is, I guess you would say, contagious.
Well, winning is as contagious as losing, as Natalie Collins hits a long-range 3 for Alabama A&M, and timeout is being taken by School of Positive Energy. Alabama has been in control from the get-go. The Tide has led for all but the first 9 seconds when it was scoreless. A&M has never led, as Copeland was let loose but misses the shot.
Well, it seems to have been a cleaner game in the second half, but people are just not completing the shots.
Except for Shaq Wade.
Until you get one like that. Breakaway, what a steal. Using the proper hand, sprinting up the floor off the bounce and finishing.
Turnover will be the bane of A&M's existence tonight. No sooner said than done.
So you say, what in the world is Coach Christy Curry calling a timeout for? And then on the flip side,
here's Margaret
with any energy tonight. So energy is a real critical factor in who's going to come out and win basketball or football games.
Mio Knight with the steal and the lay-in. And that time they listened to Coach Richards. They didn't pass it. She just picked the pocket and took the basketball and went. Dodson for 2.
That young lady right there is a steal for this Alabama A&M coaching staff from Missouri. Comes from a great high school program with wonderful skills.
You wonder what the backstory was. How she gets away from so many of the great schools in the state of Missouri and chooses to play at Alabama A&M as the whistle sounds. And a foul called.
And she was listed as one of the top 50 post players in the country.
Yeah. That's the lady we're speaking of, Ashlyn Dotson, a 6'2" freshman. Finishes the plays well. I've been impressed.
Yes. Well, if I had to guess, going back to your statement,
yeah.
If I had to guess, recruiting has so much to do with contacts. I mean, if you had a player and me and you're great friends, I got a chance. And that's what Coach told me today. I said, how do you recruit nationally? And she said, contacts. And that's the honest truth.
Full court pressure again by Alabama. Backdoor cut, misses the connection there. Pete Carroll would have, Coach Carroll would have loved it from his Princeton days.
Yeah.
But they made those passes, and that one didn't connect to Johnson. Last year, Bama won this matchup 97-29. Alana da Silva too strong. But when things are going your way, everything goes your way.
If you're in the right place, you've got a chance. Right there, if not Mio Knight, if Coco Knight had been drifting back, she would not have been there for that rebound.
And that play right there where Ashley Williams made a great feed and Copeland would not be denied after missing the first. The whistle on Johnson will be her second, and a chance for the three-point play for Araya Copeland. High school honorable mention All-America. As a senior in high school last year in Columbus, Georgia, she averaged 16.4 points a ball game and 9.5 rebounds per outing.
And if there's anything about her game that I like from where I'm sitting is her free throw shot.
Yeah.
What a nice stroke.
It all contributed. She had double figures in 18 games in her senior year as the lay-in by Alexandra Johnson is good for two. Johnson awakening here a bit in the third quarter. Da Silva. Nice play, staying with it off the kick by Ashley Williams. Shot clock at 6. The dish. And a foul as Ashley Williams, she's been beaten up tonight.
She has, but actually Mio Knight was the one that made the play right there. Her patience and her confidence with the basketball, knowing what the time was on the shot clock, you would think she would throw up a bad shot, but no, she breaks the defense down, delivers a nice little touch pass to Ashley Williams, who gets hammered.
You know, you made an interesting comment earlier, and it was it's almost the same thing that Christy Curry told me on Thursday evening. She was one of the guests on our Hey Coach radio show. She said, as ironic as it is, the year that Ashley Williams missed for medical reasons might now, in retrospect, be one of the best things that happened to her in her career as far as her development is concerned.
Ironically enough, I watched I had helped call the Alabama Huntsville. It's a nice backdoor pass right there and a good finish.
Again, Johnson.
But the Alabama Huntsville, they redshirt every single player that comes into their program, and it pays huge benefits. So it's her 5th year. She's 1 year older, more mature, and appreciates what she has.
And in better physical shape than she has been. And that's paying off very much. A minute 9, as you see, remaining third quarter. Bama keeping the pressure on. There's Johnson again. She's been getting free, but she missed that bunny. But Johnson has been all of a sudden here in the third quarter one of the go-to ladies for A&M. I love how Coco Knight dribbles but keeps her head up and is constantly surveying the floor. The shot won't go, but the foul as Copeland gets hit on the move.
And what a nice post pass right there by Coco Knight. We're talking about being a complete player. That's a part of it. I mean, when you can recognize where the defense is, the rule is pass the ball away from the defense. We watch games all the time, Eli, where the ball goes to the post, it gets deflected. Nice pass away from the defense, easily caught, and now you were playing at the free throw line.
Kenesha Tharp with 4 fouls leaves, and Alicia Davis, number 22, will replace her in maroon, while Alabama's number 22 tries another free throw. Doesn't convert that time, and here's Cobb. Rejected by Alabama. That was Copeland in her face. 3-on-1 Bama. Da Silva didn't like the way it looked. She sets things up, and Copeland on the move for 2. Wow.
Boy, flashes of brilliance right there. Things to come.
A freshman, folks.
That's what I'm saying.
Here's Cobb through the hands of Johnson, and another turnover. That will be the 29th on Alabama A&M. Final 3.5 seconds. Da Silva, 2-1. Good if it goes, but it does not. And we have come to the end of 3.
Manager.
Yep. And director of operations.
Yeah, director of operations after he graduated. And David Hobbs, one of our former head coaches, is his assistant coach.
Exactly. That's coming up next. Almost a travel by Hannah Cook, but it's unloaded inside, and the layup is good for Ashley Knight. Full court pressure again. And that's going to be an offensive foul on Tierra Dark. It'll be her second, the offensive foul on number 24, Dark.
Well, I watched her in practice today, too, and she showed me a lot of, you talking about hard working and a great attitude. She's going to really be an asset for this team. Young player.
Another freshman out of Sylacauga.
Exactly.
A strong guard. Williams, Knight, Williams, foul. Ashley Knight and Ashley Williams having a little private catch there, and Shaq Wade says, pretty good, girls. The big ladies just playing above the rim in general terms, if you will.
Well, Eli, honestly, I'm not paying any attention to the score myself. That's just what we do.
Yeah.
But I'm watching players make plays.
Sure.
And then I'm comparing them back to where they were this time last year. And so we said Alabama's picked number 9 in the Southeastern Conference. Well, they had a great run at the end of the year last year. I can understand. You got to earn the right to be picked higher than that. But they look pretty doggone good.
You know what I like is that Alabama has 1 turnover here in this second half. 11 now for Alabama A&M. The Lady Bulldogs 31 turnovers to 12 for the Crimson Tide women.
I'm sure that was a point of emphasis at the half as well.
I dare say. The stop and the pop. Johnson's playing well, number 21. One of the reasons they had more points in the third quarter than they had in their previous quarters combined. Personal foul on Hannah Cook. It'll be her second. Just so you'll know, Alabama A&M is out of timeouts. Rebound, Johnson, no good, off the miss. And Hannah Cook plays the loose basketball. And there's a blocking. No, they're going to call an offensive foul. One official said a block. but she was overruled by Darren McClure, and that'll be the third on Hannah Cook.
Eli, you were talking about number 21, Alexandra Johnson, who has performed well in the second half of this game. Another true freshman from Pinson, Alabama.
In the preseason, she had 7 offensive rebounds and 6 defensive rebounds. And the points off the offensive boards were the key for what she did in the exhibition wins over Oakwood University and the University of West Alabama. Shot clock at 6. The aforementioned offensive board for Johnson. This time, though, she didn't convert, but she was there.
And made a nice move. It just didn't fall.
And a blocking foul that time. It'll be 2 shots. Lauren McKee will be the guilty party. It'll be foul number 3 on her, as Alabama will bring in 4 fresh bodies. But first, Mio Knight shooting 2.
And Eli, during the offseason, we have talked about Coach Curry's emphasis on moving up the ladder, so
the free throws,
from the free throw line, and implementing a very creative program for the players for Alabama to have an opportunity to perform at a higher level from the free throw line.
Alabama 73% from the stripe here tonight. 22 of 30. Bonner gets a nice bounce outside. 7 on the shot clock. They'll go long range, and it won't fall for Lauren McKee. They're working themselves into a box there. The shot clock was expiring. The last 2 or 3 trips up the floor, and they've had to just chuck it up. Ruffin, no. Copeland, no. Copeland, yes.
Well, that's showing some athleticism that you just don't see that when you see her running up and down the floor, but really, really quick up off the floor.
They lost Johnson, though, and she lays it in for 2, Alexandra Johnson. But you're right, you know, Copeland, 6'3", a big woman. You saw the same on the part of Deja Ruffin, 5'9", a solidly built lady, and they are remarkable athletes.
Well, Copeland, I know, is Coach Terry Jones' favorite pupil right now. She has come in, and I don't know how to say it except for got in a lot better condition.
Sure.
Than what she was when she got here. So she's got a long ways to go to get in condition, but man, what hands and what footwork.
And again, for a big lady, a big player, doesn't matter gender notwithstanding. That's always difficult when you're a big player. Dotson just missing on that left-hand try. Of course, if you're not familiar with the name Terry Jones, the 30-year strength and conditioning coach and coach in general here at the University of Alabama, former Green Bay Packer, proud dad of a former NFLer, and he's the man in charge of strength and conditioning for the Crimson Tide women's basketball team.
And the players dearly love him.
They do. You don't want to get on his bad side.
No.
No. Shaq Wade, no good. Copeland can't make a shot. And here come the Lady Bulldogs. And they're still running. You got to give them credit. And a shot right there. They're down 78-24. They're not going to win, but they haven't, they're not mailing it in.
They're really not.
Not at all.
From what I've saw in practice today, it's the same energy. There's that word again.
They read the book.
That they had in practice.
Five minutes remaining as Dotson misses, and a foul over the back on Dotson. It'll be her Green Bay Packers.
He really was.
You didn't want to line up against that man.
No, but he knows his business.
He does.
I mean, it's not just, even in football, he knows his business. He was the coach on the field for the Packers.
Yep.
Made all the calls.
Inside of 5 minutes remaining. Dotson, nice catch on a tough pass to handle, but she missed the shot. Da Silva on her high horse, and it won't go. So that little stutter step move and the acceleration. And you hear the
no foul there.
No foul there. You heard the reaction, the oof underneath.
And I don't blame her.
And the layup for Cocoa Knights.
Talk about Copeland's conditioning, what would be holding her back right now from even being a little bit more of a contributor would be just what we're talking about, because you watch her go from offense to defense in the full court, and you can see that she's struggling a little bit, as you see.
She's played 20 minutes, though, tonight.
Perfect.
Yep. And a nice lay-in there by Ashley Williams. And there's Copeland, who had a nice assist. Three and a half remaining. Dotson with a nice rebound off the miss by Kenesha Tharp.
Good for her, because I tell you what, I think, again, her conditioning, her footwork, her physicality needs to improve, but skill. I love her skill.
Ashley Williams doesn't get that finger roll. There'll be 4 substitutions coming in for the Lady Bulldogs and 3 for Alabama at the next opportunity. And the whistle. 2:45 remaining in this one. Don't forget Iowa State and Colorado on the mothership coming up when this one's done. Excuse me, Iowa State and Missouri coming up after this one's done. Big Al.
Oh, boy.
You know, that box is supposed to be filled with confetti, kind of like the old Harlem Globetrotter trick.
I think he just wants more airtime. That's what I believe.
Deshauna Harper, number 23 for the Lady Bulldogs. Nice rejection inside on the move to the bucket by Alicia Davis. Reverse layup, too strong, and it's out of bounds off Alabama. Don't forget the Crimson Tide women back in action on Monday right here on the SEC Network Plus, 8 Eastern, 7 Central against the Utes of the University of Utah. They play at Nevada tonight and are 71-46 winners, I am now told, over the Wolfpack. So a couple of teams that'll be 1-0 off big wins. They'll be squaring off here Monday. You'll see it on the SEC Network, 8 Eastern, 7 Central Time. Jamaica Cobb, man, has she been throttled tonight? 2 rebounds, no points.
Thanks to a wonderful scouting report by Sharika Wright.
Yep.
It was her game, and there's no doubt in my mind, because I saw him at shoot-around, that was a point of emphasis. The kid's a great jump shooter. If you don't contest, she will make shots, and they've done an outstanding job of recognizing that.
Cobb 0 of 6 on the floor as the long-range try doesn't go. She never tried a 3. She has not been to the free throw line, talking about Cobb. 2 rebounds, a personal foul, and a couple of turnovers in just 16 minutes of work.
Exactly, and you know, again, when you talk about playing in the Southwest Athletic Conference, they're going to be highly competitive, no doubt in my mind. Young players, but very athletic.
We talked about the coaches. There's Sharika Wright, right there in the middle of your screen. Shaq Wade looking on. There's Christy Curry. Great coaching staff. Of course, Kelly Curry, Christy's husband, on the staff with Sharika, and Brooks Williams, former head coach at McNeese State.
She's got a staff now.
There's Kelly Curry.
And believe me when I say Christy Curry would be the first to tell you that recruiting class that you saw, it wasn't just Christy Curry. She got some people over there that go to work and know how to get it done.
Now, if you didn't see it the other day, Bama signed 7. There's Brooks Williams by her side. Bama signed 7 during the early signing period. That was announced on Thursday. And if you follow the recruiting services, Blue Star basketball report named that class right there the number 6 signing class in America.
Exactly.
And that's good because Bama signed 7. Bama's losing 6 players
exactly
when this season wraps up. Here now trying to find an opening, Nigeria Jones to Cobb, and she can't get her first point of the night. But the follow-up for Johnson is good for 2.
And once again, there's that backdoor cut that you were talking about earlier, Eli.
Yep.
Very nice execution, but a beautiful pass that she was able to gather and get the shot up.
Johnson has 13 points tonight of the 32. Down to the final 20 seconds, as you see. Ruffin, Berry, Copeland to finish it off.
My goodness, I don't even think she had a handle on the ball, but she made